Hello, my fellow lifeforms, and welcome to Phantom Universe. The ancient world has been completely lost to our knowledge and forgotten in our history. A global civilization with remarkable capabilities and unprecedented knowledge of the planet and universe. I believe there is evidence to support this claim. Evidence that has either been neglected, ignored, shunned, or misunderstood. One undeniable object that I defend as evidence for an ancient, advanced civilization is the Great Pyramid in Giza. The current explanation for this anomaly is that the Egyptian pharaoh Khufu ordered the construction in the 4th dynasty of the Egyptian Empire, completing it in 2560 BC. Looking into the reasons for these conclusions, one would find that they are built on foundations of sand, with extremely weak evidence supporting them. I will address these conclusions in future videos, but for now, let us just speak of the pyramid, for I believe the Great Pyramid to be far more mysterious and ancient. Our first historical record specifically mentioning the Great Pyramid comes from the Greek philosopher Herodotus. He wrote that 100,000 workers or slaves built this pyramid. However, modern textbooks state that it was at most 30,000. This is taken as fact and not thought of further by most, for there is a significant error to this logic. The Great Pyramid consists of 2.3 million multi-ton stone blocks. The outside visible stone is limestone, and the internal chambers are constructed with granite. It covers 13.1 acres of land, with each side being 755 feet in length. It was the tallest surviving structure for thousands of years at 481 feet tall. This 5.9 million ton colossus has been calling to us. History books declare that this structure was completed in 20 years by the Bronze Age Egyptians. Let us do the math using this information. In order to complete this monumental achievement in 20 years, one must place a perfectly cut stone perfectly every 5 minutes, 24 hours a day, non-stop, for 20 years. That is 1,764,000 pounds of stone placed every single day. If a single stone is cut wrong, or placed wrong by only a degree, each block after that would then be wrong, and gradually worsen in error as construction continued, causing the internal rooms to become warped, which could also result in the entire pyramid to begin to bulge, lean, or spiral before reaching the top, resulting in the corners not coming to a perfect point. If production is stopped by any error, what is one to do? There is no time to deconstruct and rebuild. This level of efficiency and perfection is not possible with the world's current economies and even with modern machines today. The conveyor belt system of stone alone would take an industrial scale that is unprecedented in history in both resources and cost. On only a 4-sided pyramid, this is unthinkable, and what I would call an impossible feat. The Great Pyramid, however, is not a 4-sided structure, for it has 8. This doubling of mathematical geometry and masonry skill causes such a higher level of complexity. There is at least an 8 times higher chance of getting this precision and symmetry wrong. This, however, does not include the rooms and hallways on the inside, for this intricacy is staggering. Estimated to cost at least $5 billion in today's world. For what reason would anyone do this? What What was it that was so important it required such a construction and building? Was it really as simple as a tomb for the ego of a single pharaoh? Observe any other known tomb for a pharaoh. The art covering the walls is breathtaking. Each line has a significant importance to the Egyptians' religion. The Great Pyramid, however, is completely naked stone, with only a few 10,000 workers, according to Egyptologists, using basic primitive hand tools of stone and copper, and only sleds available to them, because the wheel had not been invented yet, were capable of something we are not. Did they have some supernatural ability that we are unaware of? Were not these people human? They would require remarkable skill, strength, stamina, and speed if this is true. I believe this to be pure nonsense, illogical, embarrassing, and impossible. Many who understand this contradiction say someone or something must have helped them, yet I believe all this to be false, for they were not involved in its construction at all. The Egyptians simply arrived to the ancient ruins of a time before and built around and on top of these scars. Let us examine this structure further, for I believe there to be a greater purpose for its existence. If we were to measure the perimeter around the foundation of the Great Pyramid, we would find that it is 3,023 feet around its base. Take this number and multiply it by 43,200, and we find the circumference of the equator around the planet at 24,000 miles. Take the height and multiply it by that same number, and we find the polar radius. If the Great Pyramid was expanded 43,200 times, it would fit perfectly inside the Earth, touching the equator and the North Pole, making the Great Pyramid of Giza a scale model of the planet on a scale of 1 to 43,200. This is said to be another coincidence. However, 43,200 is not random, but a significant number to the planet as well. As our planet spins, it has a tilt, which also rotates, called the precession of the equinox, which makes 1 degree of precession every 72 years on the horizon. 43,200 is a multiple of the number 72. These dimensions have been encoded in this structure since its construction. For thousands of years during the Dark Ages, when people believed the Earth was flat due to lack of perspective, it disturbs me that this crippling ignorance is thriving today. All anyone needed to do was to measure the Great Pyramid. In order to obtain the knowledge of the precessional equinox, it would take multiple lifetimes of observing the stars, making precise measurements and detailed records of their locations in the sky. Knowledge that would need to be passed down efficiently enough for future generations to continue the work. Ancient primitive people, according to our modern historical records, should not have had these capabilities thousands upon thousands of years ago. Yet somehow, whoever built the Great Pyramid knew the shape and size of the Earth, along with its precessional tilt, the speed of its axis rotation, and the curve of the planet itself, to the level of precision that we only recently have rediscovered with our modern technology. An overwhelming amount of ancient cultures thousands of years ago, at the dawn of civilization, farming and writing, according to academics, were capable of making these remarkable measurements, then implementing and encoding this knowledge into their structures. I do not believe this to be the work of simple-minded primitives. The understanding understanding of physics, geology, engineering, astrology, and precision handwork required to do this is astronomical. Whoever constructed these monuments knew more than we could possibly imagine about this existence. Knowing that we are living on a sphere thousands upon thousands of years ago is an amazing thing. However, understanding extremely complex physics and mathematics is another. The northern coordinates to the Great Pyramid of Giza are 29.9792 degrees north. If this number is familiar to you, it is because they are the first 6 digits of the speed of light in a vacuum. The Great Pyramid of Giza is not a tomb for the pride of a man, but a time capsule containing knowledge we once knew and are only now rediscovering. I am told again and again that all of this is a coincidence. It is a coincidence that on almost every continent, people after the Ice Age threw down their stone spears and built the greatest stone architecture this planet has ever seen and has never seen again since. It is a coincidence that without any contact with one another, because of oceans and vast distances separating them, they built many of these structures aligned with one another circling the planet. It is a coincidence that the Great Pyramid exists to begin with it containing the dimensions and rotation of our planet, along with its precessional tilt, its near-perfect alignment with true north, with the greatest coincidence being that it is located on the planet where the speed of light is represented. There are other countless coincidences they claim there are for these ancient sites. I ask, at what point should we reconsider what we accept as history, when so many coincidences all line up and point in the same direction with one another, opposite to our current historical model? When must we reconsider another possibility of history? I believe our human species to be far older than we originally thought, and at one point was a global advanced civilization. And it was not society starting 9,000 years ago, but civilization itself restarting from a cataclysmic event that almost made our species go extinct. And we are the descendants of the survivors. The amount of evidence is building by the day for this argument, and I have only scratched the surface. It is my dream to spark the fire of curiosity inside all who hear me, for it will take all of us to come together as humanity, to rise from the ashes of the past, as the phoenix I know we are, to maybe one day ascend to the heavenly stars, as the gods of the past tell us we must. It is time for us to wake up and find the truth of our human species. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Click the notification button to receive alerts on newer videos, and follow my Instagram for updates. Thank you for watching. Listen to me. To all who hear my voice, listen to me now, for their ways do not rule us in this moment. Our forefathers and our sacred books warned us of this corruption. They knew this day would come. The dreaded day the snake of man's corruption would rear its ugly head again. I fear for us as the people, completely innocent of every single disgusting image they portray us as. For I see the good, beautiful, unbreakable strength, courage, and greatness of our might before me now. Our voices shall and will be heard. From east to west, from north to south, we must roar as a mighty tempest for these shameless, greed-filled, prideful, hate-driven, and barbaric monsters to feel our presence, for we are not cattle. So here we stand, The line has been drawn. There is no turning back. We stand united as one. Yet find ye the others to defend this sacred land for the mighty fight of our lives.
Go, Scribbles!